night we sat and we talked for many hours, and you told me your testimony of how you came to Christ. I think about 22, 23 years old, way up in the mountains, a lot further into the Himalayas than we are. Could you briefly share that remarkable story?
Yeah. Well, it all started in 1994. I was not a Christian, running away from God always. But my mother, who was a Christian, continued to pray for me, and she never gave up praying. And on her birthday, I decided to go and visit my mother, who had posted herself in a very remote area at Tibet border to surprise her on her birthday. So me, my wife, and my son, who was 2 months old, took this journey to Kinnaur. To cut the long story short, on the 23rd December, her birthday, I just went to get some stuff from the market, and it was snowing, it was cold. All of a sudden, I saw a girl who was demon-possessed, and there were about 400 to 500 people surrounding her. She was tied up in chains, and she was prophesying in her dialect, in her language, and everyone was listening to her. I just stopped by for a moment to listen to what she was saying and realized that she was possessed. Now, because of my mother's faith, a lot of pastors used to visit us, and I just sarcastically said to myself, oh, if Jesus, someone could pray for her in the name of Jesus, she would be delivered.
Because you weren't really a believer.
No, I was not.
Okay.
And then, I moved away thinking this is not my cup of tea. I had walked 20 meters and God spoke to me. He said, Randeep, if you're not going to pray for my daughter, I will manifest myself on any person walking on the road. He'll pray for her. She'll get delivered. But what about your salvation? I was standing over there, trembling. And, I ran back to this place where this girl was. By that time, a witch doctor had come who was trying to control this girl with his magic spells. But when he could not do so, he made a long list of sacrifices of goats and sheep, which had to be offered to different gods and goddesses. Then I said to him, sir, if you can help her, help her. Why are you just beating around the bush? And this man said, oh, you don't know one of the goddesses in her, and unless the sacrifices are made, she'll not be delivered. At that moment, the power of God touched me, and I started speaking in tongues. And this girl, she just ran towards me. I got scared. I thought she's coming to attack me, but she came and grabbed my hand, and as she touched me, God started revealing her past to me, what had happened. And as I was telling this to the people standing over there, from the crowd, her mother and aunt fell on my feet saying, you're God, no one can tell this, no one could have known this. But anyway, I said, this is not me, this is Jesus who has done that. And what little bit I knew about Jesus from Sunday school stories and sermons I had heard, I started telling it to the people standing over there. Her mother said this thing is going to come back again because she was being tormented for past 2 years. I said, no, this is never going to come back. But if you have any other problem, you can come to my mother who lives nearby in the government accommodation. And
so she was completely delivered?
Completely delivered.
Even though you yourself had not been walking with the Lord?
No.
And you only remembered a few little stories and verses from when you were a kid?
Yes.
And she was set free?
She was set free.
Wow.
She was set free. And then this family came to my mother's place, and when my mother came to know what had happened, she started dancing with joy. God has chosen me. Anyways, we had supper with them. This family left. And we had to leave next morning, early morning. 5 o'clock, people started knocking my doors. I peeped outside. There were people standing. They came inside. They said, does Jesus live here? I said, yes, he lives here. They all came in. And they had brought all the sick people from the village. And they wanted me to pray or do something. They thought I'm a witch doctor of some kind. But I refused to pray because I thought if it didn't work this time, they'll think I'm a fake. And they'll beat me. This is a tribal area I was in. And but anyways, my mother encouraged, my wife encouraged. I ended up praying for everyone. And everyone who came over there got instantly healed. And they were going back telling it to the people who were on the streets, and more people started coming in. So I ended up praying from 5 in the morning till 10:30 at night. And this went on and on and on for months. And before I knew, I was in a revival, and God was saving people.
Now, you were going up to visit your mom for just a few days.
Just 2 days.
And you were going to go back to your business.
Yeah.
And how long did you stay?
7 years.
7 years.
7 years I could not come out of
that. That is an amazing, amazing testimony.
Yeah. And where there were just no Christians, now there are over 25,000 Christians, believing Christians in that area.
Thanks for sharing that. That's wonderful.
Bless you.